This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a longtime fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to acknowledge and thank our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, Albert Lorenzo, LightBlindedFool, the Amyrlin Seat, Green Man, and Kristen Gilreath. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Ashley Warren to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. Thank you so much for your generosity and your support. We really couldn't do this without you. In this episode, we're talking about chapters 21 and 22 of the Path of Daggers.
Yeah, so chapter 21 is Answering the Summons, and chapter 22 is Gathering Clouds.
Yup.
We are leading up to a big something.
Oh, we certainly are leading up to things.
Or a gigantic disappointment. Hard to say.
Well, I mean, it feels like we're leading up to things.
Okay.
Certainly.
We're almost at the end of the book. Like,
we have more names that I don't know
now
than we did when we were with a bunch of Aes Sedai I don't know.
I love it.
Isn't that crazy?
So good. And, okay, so you know most of the names. Most of them.
Nope.
Some of them. Some are new.
Yep.
Some are old.
Uh-huh.
It's okay. We'll figure it out.
That's what I figured you would be here for. I didn't spend too much time trying to figure out who people were.
Yeah.
And I honestly didn't figure out Rand's plan.
And okay.
Until the end of the second read through.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you had already helped me.
So you're kind of like Weiramon.
Oh my god, I'm worse. I'm worse than Weiramon.
Okay. Yeah. Now, do you remember who Weiramon is?
The idiot.
Because the useful idiot.
Yeah, I don't really, I remember his name.
Yeah.
Weiramon in the audiobook.
Weiramon, yeah. Okay.
But, okay, we'll get into it.
Sure.
But, okay, here we are. Also, exciting news, we're recording this live on our Discord for all of our patrons right now.
Yeah, we are.
So that's really fun. So they're participating in chat while we're recording this.
Yeah, very cool.
That is fun.
Okay, so I'm going to start us off with a pretty good fun fact.
Okay.
A pretty fun one.
Okay.
I'd like to say.
You've been under some fire.
I know. I'm nervous. And this one, I mean, it's pretty good. I don't know. I don't even know how to feel about this anymore. So anyways, we've been in Ilion before, but we do get to spend some more time in Ilion. Around. And this time we get a few more names for things. But specifically, yeah, I want to talk about the Causeway of the Northern Star.
Okay.
Because I just want to see if there's anything interesting about the name. Because it sounds pretty regular. Like, causeways are a thing. It's not particularly unique. Causeway is just basically like a road that goes over marshy land or water or whatever. They've been around for like 5,000 years. It's not that big of a deal.
Yep.
And then most people know of the North Star or the Northern Star. So for those who don't right now, so the North Star is a star named Polaris for us. And it's more or less directly above the North Pole. So it stays in roughly the same place in the sky, so it's a very reliable way to see which way is north, because it stays in the same place. Yeah. So, Causeway of the Northern Star. Sounds simple and basic, but I got some fun information for you here.
Okay, can't wait.
All right.
We're all on the edge of our seats.
So, the thing about the Earth and stars is that we're all moving, so the North Star actually changes. And pretty frequently, actually, in like a cosmic time scale. Yeah. So every couple thousand years, generally speaking, it shifts.
Okay.
So the cool part is just like the Wheel of Time. All things come and go. And if we wait long enough, it comes back around again. So here's the fun information. Back from roughly 4,000 BCE till about 1800 BCE, so a bit over a time period of 2,000 years, the North Star was actually a star named Thuban. And it's famous because Thuban was the North Star during the construction of the earliest Egyptian pyramids. That's why a lot of people know it. Because the whole, line up the pyramids with the North Star, whatever.
Is that where the conspiracy about the aliens building the pyramids come from?
Probably, but that's not the cool information. The cool thing about Thuban is that Thuban is a star in the northern constellation of Draco. And Draco is Latin for dragon. Mm-hmm. And it's one of the original constellations listed by Ptolemy, but the name Thuban is also derived from the Arabic word meaning large snake or legendary draconian serpent, and Thuban is sometimes known as the dragon's tail. So, basically,
also in our world, the North Star is in the Big Dipper, which is less cool than that.
A little bit less
I wish it was
cool.
still cool like that.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Pot in the sky.
Here's the thing. It gets a little cooler. So basically, the causeway of the Northern Star is the pathway leading into Ilion.
Yeah.
And it's quite literally the dragon's tail that leads into the dragon city of Ilion, because Ilion is the first city that Rand, like, officially owns.
I suppose.
And then also Thuban.
That's a stretch.
It's not. That's
Okay.
literally, it's the dragon's tail.
It's not the first city that he owns.
It's the first one he feels like he owns.
No. Okay, go.
Well, that's what he's... Anyways, not the point. Lastly, Thuban is going to become the North Star again for Earth in the year 20,346.
Ah.
So in about 18,000 years, Thuban, the dragon's tail, is coming back around.
Okay.
Wheel
so
of Time.
the North Star
Shifts. Yep.
shifts and it gets replaced?
Yep. In
so
a big circular...
at some point, the
Yep.
North Star won't be in the north? Like Polaris?
No, it'll always be in the north, but the constellations shift based on Earth's position.
Yeah.
So the North Star actually shifts because the brightest star that's closest to the north, like, pole, basically where we can see it, is going to shift to a new star.
Ah, and it'll be
Yeah.
Thuban again.
In 18,000 years, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
We're coming...
Okay.
Yes.
Trying to wrap my head around what the hell you're talking about.
We'll probably be dead, but...
Probably.
Well, you never know.
Only
Yeah,
probably.
never know.
With,
Never know.
Yeah, with
Okay.
uploading my brain.
Never know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But probably. Mm-hmm. Anyways, there you go.
There I go.
Dragon's tail.
Okay. And you just inadvertently gave us a Harry Potter reference.
How?
You literally gave us a named character of a Harry Potter character in your fun fact.
Draco.
Yeah.
Malfoy.
Yeah.
Malfoy. Okay. Yep.
That wasn't part of it?
No. That has nothing to do with this.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go. Okay.
Well, can we start off with a shot?
Yeah, let's do that.
And we're going to cheers to all of our patrons who are here listening tonight.
Fantastic.
Also exciting news because we have new shot glasses from one of our patrons who's listening here tonight.
Awesome. All right.
Very,
it
very
all worked
cool.
out. It was planned. It was planned.
It's Kismet. I really thought that that's what you were going to finish with.
No.
After I like all I heard really in that entire fun fact was Draco.
I thought you, like,
To be
recognized
fair.
it because, like, you know. Okay, anyways.
Nope, that's all I
fine.
heard.
Okay, well, everyone pour your shots and let's do this thing.
Okay, so these shots are from Brandon, and they are also from Kilgore, Texas.
Yeah.
And it's really cool because you have an oil rig on yours.
Yeah.
And I have like
I got
the
a twofer.
oil tower guys.
The big things, yeah.
And we in Alberta, in Edmonton, are no stranger
Yeah.
to these. These literally could be shot glasses from Edmonton.
Alberta is
Yeah.
the Texas of Canada.
It absolutely
same
is.
place.
It's just like driving through Alberta. You see the oil rigs going all the time.
Yes, it's like home. Okay.
It is. But isn't that from like north to south? It all lines up. Like
Probably.
that makes sense, right?
Maybe. I
Okay,
don't know.
cheers.
Okay, cheers. Okay.
Ooh, okay. That is never gonna get easier. Awesome. Thanks, Brendan.
Yep.
Okay, so now let's talk about what happened last time we were here.
All right.
We're going to talk a little bit more in detail because, specifically, the last episode has not been released yet as we're recording.
Gotcha. So we got to catch everyone up
But
to
we
speed.
have people who are listening live to this episode and might have forgotten what happened
All right.
in the last two chapters.
All right.
So, last time we were here, Egwene took complete control of the hall by knowing some old rules about the law of war.
Yeah, which is basically I'm in charge.
I'm in charge. And we're hoping
Yeah.
everything just stays good for her.
Sure.
And they don't just, like, assassinate her or
Right,
something. She doesn't
yes.
meet with an accident.
Don't be a Chunla.
And don't be a Chanla. We also have to worry about Halima messing around, you know, doing some things.
Sure.
So, not good.
Yeah.
Okay. We also have Matt, who is probably not dead, but in some kind of trouble because the band and Talmanis feel his calling.
Yeah, the pull.
Like he needs some help.
Yep.
We also have Elaine and company slowly making their way to Camelin. Very slowly.
Because snow.
Because snow.
Yep.
Now, the last time we were with Rand, which is important for these chapters, Rand was in Ilion. He met with some of the Ashamans,
Just Ashaman.
He met with the Ashaman.
Ashaman is plural.
I know.
And singular.
I hate it so much.
Yeah.
Anyway, he learned about the Seanchan most likely moving towards Ilion, and that's the most important thing to take out of all of that.
Yeah.
And so now we move into chapter 21, answering the summons.
Mm-hmm.
And the chapter symbol is the dragon.
Here we go.
Here
we're gonna do stuff. Almost.
Go. So we enter in our Rand perspective, and I was pretty excited.
Okay, to be away from like the.
I mean, like not to be away from all of that, but just to like get caught up on what's happening here.
Okay, sure.
Because he has a lot of moving pieces going on, and so it's like, which moving piece is he gonna attempt to worry about today, right?
And we get an answer.
Of his timeline of events that he hopes to...
Yeah, like of what he's focused on right now.
List?
He does. He had
his to-do list.
A little bit.
Things move slower for him than he thinks, though.
That's true.
Or wants.
Yeah, it's a little frustrating, so I get that.
Okay, now Rand is somewhere in Ilion, and it's very stormy, and they keep referring to these tempests that has, like, a name, Sermanos or something like that. And I honestly had to go and Google.
Yeah, it's not
it is said so many times that I was like, what is this word? I don't even know.
Yeah. It's like tempest that comes off the ocean.
So
like
a tempest is like a really bad storm.
Yeah.
That I know. I also remember playing the music piece called The Tempest. In like junior high band.
Yep. I know. Absolutely.
I remember that one.
Okay.
But a tempest is a bad storm.
Right.
But this Sermanos or whatever.
Like a Samaros, yeah.
Samaros. It's literally a made-up word.
It's made up, yeah.
It's nowhere. I tried to just look up Samaros, and you know what popped up? A bunch of different wikis for Watt talking about this chapter.
Yeah. Yep.
I didn't click on any of them, because, I don't want another accidental spoiler situation.
I'm pretty sure.
But I really thought that was going to be a something.
Yeah, and I really don't want to like spoil anything for you, but like I don't think it's really a thing ever again. Either.
I know.
Like, I don't know if it comes up.
It's literally said like 5 different times in this chapter.
Yeah, that was going to be my fun fact, but I couldn't find anything.
Oh, you looked too.
Oh yeah, I was trying to figure it out. I was like, okay, like really focused in on this word.
They really did.
Yep.
Okay, it's nothing.
Yeah, because I said we get a lot of new words and it's like I tried to. Yeah. Nope, that was one of the options, and I couldn't do anything for it. So.
Okay. There you go. Failed fun fact.
Well, yeah, we've done that before too. So
because I thought I was going to have a fact also, and I didn't get one.
Not as hilarious as the whole Min's penis thing, but
as you were saying, I have a fun fact.
Yeah.
I was like, nothing's going to be as funny or as good.
Samaros is just a god who's holding his penis in his hand. Like, who knew? All right. Turns out they all do that sometimes.
Okay. Anyway. Getting actually into this chapter, Rand is surprised at how much this terrible weather is hampering his plans, and we get caught up to speed a little bit that he sent a request for Ashaman to come here.
Plural.
Yep. And now they have arrived, and now they're coming out of the gateway from Andor.
And there's snow.
Snow
in Andor.
There's snow in Andor, but not in Ilion because we're south.
Yes. Ilion doesn't really ever get snow normally.
No, and they thought that snow was
made up,
just like Trollocs are made
exactly.
up. Yeah, okay, I remember. Now, the Ashaman show up, and they're definitely not trying to hide what they are or who they are, because they have the black and white disc on their cloaks, real nice and big on their backs, and there's a pride and arrogance to how they act.
Yeah, and they got the weave to like block the rain, so it's like extra spooky. Or cool.
Not spooky.
Well, the other men think it's spooky. They like avert their eyes when they see what's happening.
Well, I don't think because it's like, ooh, spooky. I think it's
like,
because they're like, they're men using the power, and that's
what spooky means.
Oh.
In this case, that's what it means. Anyways, yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay. So now the commander of this group is a full Ashaman named Charl Gedwin, and this is someone we have met, right? I remember the name Charl because I remember we made fun of it.
It was like,
that's what I remember. I barely remember the Gedwin part.
It was like way back at the beginning of
the Black Tower conception.
Yeah.
Probably when it was still the farm.
Yeah, I don't think there was anything as funny as the other guy, who like got hit in the head by Taim, so.
Oh, that part. Yeah, okay. But anyway, Charl has...
Charl that kills people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a new title to Svorin
Sorovan.
to
Mahale.
Sahorovan.
Yeah, because we know the Mahale, right?
Meaning Storm Leader.
Storm Leader, cool title. It's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, we pick up where they're at in this conversation. So, Gedwyn has come in, and him and Rand are talking. Gedwyn says, how am I supposed to find anyone in this weather? Because it's, like, actually, like, storming all over the place.
Yeah.
And then, a bit too late, he adds, my Lord Dragon. Like, there's no respect.
Yeah, he's a
Rand can't get no respect.
No respect.
And he says, we brought 8 dedicated and 40 soldiers, and that's enough to destroy any army, but you could probably do it by yourself, so why do you need anyone?
Yeah, it's just a lot of questioning authority right now.
And Rand isn't taking any crap right now, and he says that he expects to just be obeyed, and he doesn't want his time wasted with questions.
Yeah.
So Gedwyn just salutes and leaves, but here's the thing. Rand is doing a terrible job of gaining, like, any respect.
Yeah, no, he's definitely not doing that.
So he can't get no respect, but he also isn't communicating very well.
Yeah.
He's just, I expect to be obeyed, but he's not relationship building in any way.
No.
Like, clearly,
Doesn't have time for
Taim
that.
has done the relationship building piece.
Yeah.
And it seems like most of these Ashermen respect Taim.
But here's the thing.
Rand
Rand is expecting the relationship to be there because of the authority that he has being the Dragon Reborn.
Doesn't matter what he's expecting.
Yeah.
You can't just be like, ooh, I'm super cool and I have a name, so here you must listen to me.
Yeah.
It's how he's going to get literally stabbed in the back.
But yeah, I was going to say, we also get introduced to a secondary guy with Gedwyn, who's Rothshade, who's the Bajan Mahale, which is attack leader. Ooh. So it's Storm Leader and attack leader.
Ooh.
Very cool nicknames.
Ooh. Okay.
Well, Rand does this whole thing where he's like, oh, why is Taim creating new ranks?
Yeah.
What's he doing? But, you know, again,
there's like hundreds of people.
There's literally hundreds. Like, Taim needs more than,
and
like...
all you wanted was literal soldiers.
Yeah.
And you don't think there's going to be ranks?
There's a hierarchy in any army.
Well, I guess he thinks, all the Asherman are the ranking, like, whatever
yeah, but that's not, like,
officers.
how ranking would work.
Not really.
Like... Asherman and
power, so,
it's more like your skill level versus like where you are in the hierarchy chain of command.
Based on like
Yeah. No, I get why he's doing that. So I got to come to defense a little bit here, but
I know. Okay. Now, the return officially of just a hilarious Luce Theron.
Oh yeah, he's back.
Oh man.
He's
so
back.
Funny. He's back. He's got me just so excited to hear from him.
You love this part.
I literally love it. So Luce Theron's back. He tells Rand, you must kill him before he kills you.
Yes.
And Luce Theron says wonderingly, am I dead? Are you?
There's a lot more like direct interaction here. Just talking to
Can't wait.
Rand.
I can't wait for the more realization. We had a setback. Cadswain? What's her name?
Yeah, Cadswain. Yeah.
Scared the shit out of Luce Theron.
Okay.
For a little. He's back.
Okay.
He's not as scared. He's asking questions
back.
again.
Okay.
We like this. But then Rand says...
You like this. I don't like this. This is bad.
No, it's great. Rand says, I can't afford to be mad yet. And then Luce Theron asks, when then?
Yeah. No, it's really good. So in this crazy rambling too, we get some actually like really important and interesting information about LTT.
Yeah.
Because first off, LTT's voice is now invading Rand's dreams. And it's not always his own face that Rand sees.
Right.
And it's not always LTT's face either. Sometimes it's like a third different face that he almost seems to recognize. And it's vaguely familiar, but LTT also seems startled by this like third face.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, this reminds me of Egwene's dream of the masks.
Okay.
Rand's face with different masks, and then one finally settles on his face.
Yep, and which one is it? We don't know.
Ooh.
So, and who's the third face?
Ooh. Okay, so this is where we learn that the Asherman arriving is basically the beginning of Rand's plan, which he's telling nobody. He's literally telling no one nothing.
Oh yeah, like
about
literally
nothing
literally
about
no one
anything.
knows. Yeah.
And so the plan is sort of what we figure out, that he wants to push the Seanchan back west, even though it's slow going. And we get some descriptions of the camp that they're in, because Rand has like 2 different groups protecting him. He has the Defenders of Tyr and the Companions of Ilion, who 100% do not get along at all.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of stuff because, like, technically Rand's, like, in command of both places, so there's, like, a competition over who gets to protect Rand on that level, but they also, like, hate each other, so it's like there's a couple relationships going on.
Right,
here.
and the companions clearly are like, Rand's our king. Of course we're gonna protect him.
Yeah.
But then there's talk about Tyr.
Maybe Tyr should have a king.
Tyr should have a king.
Right, and why not have Rand?
Wasn't there was a thing. Like either a Min viewing, or a Egwene dream, or some prophecy about Tyr having a king.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or something.
Something like that. Yep.
Okay. Anyway, they're like, yeah, Rand should be king, but then Weirmon's like, well, maybe.
Well, Weiramon wants it to be him, and he's not really shy about that.
Well, he's too stupid, though.
Yeah, he's just an idiot, so.
Okay. All right. So now, at this point, Weiramon does come up and starts with some sucking up. Some butt kissing.
Yeah, real hard.
Yep. And he says he's concerned about some of the orders that Rand is given. And he likes that Rand has sent away most of the Kyrianen and some of the Ilianers. Ilianers? Yeah. And he does even understand Rand limiting some of the other Tyrant High Lords.
Yeah, because Weiramon is one of the High Lords of Tyr, so he's saying that he understands why Rand would, like, lessen their power.
Yeah. But he wants Rand to let him bring all of his armsmen and the defenders to wherever it is they're going.
Yeah.
Because Rand hasn't told Weiramon the plan either.
Yeah, so he's, like, trying to dig. He's trying to figure this out, but he's getting nowhere.
So, let me tell you, this is the point in the chapter where I just don't know who anyone is.
Oh, yeah, okay.
I don't really know what's happening. We get a page description of where everyone is going, sort of, but I don't know who they are.
I can summarize it pretty simply.
Cool.
So, we basically have the High Lords and Ladies of Tyr. We've got some of the Council of Nine guys from Ilion.
Okay.
And what Rand is doing is he's splitting all the High Lords and Ladies up into different places and sending them to in different directions to do different things. And he's putting each one of them in charge of a group of people that they themselves don't trust. So he's mix and matching all the people so that nobody is feeling safe enough to do anything except for obey his orders exactly. And that's it. So Rand is actually playing pretty sneaky stuff here.
Keeping them on their toes.
Yeah.
So that they're all worried about the people that they're with rather than worrying about him.
Yes, exactly. And also we've got one of them heading with, this is the first mention, that some of the people who he, like, conquered, the guys in the bush or whatever.
Oh, yes.
Some of those guys actually flipped.
And he wonders where Caroline Damodred and that other guy went to. Slipped off.
No, not those guys.
Yeah, at one point he does wonder where they went.
He does, yeah, what they're up to, but that's a separate guys in the bush.
No, I know.
We're talking about the ones from, like, a couple days ago, where he's like, you have till noon, make the right decision.
Those guys in the bush.
And those guys are important in this chapter because
of the guy who literally tries to kill him.
The guy.
So I did catch that part.
Yeah, so some of those guys are in one of those little, like, factions that are like, going off.
But also at some point he thinks about the nobles that were in rebellion.
Yeah.
In and around Kyrian?
Yes. In the bush.
The other bush.
In the forest.
The forest.
That was more of a forest than a bush.
That was more of a forest? Okay.
Yeah, but that's the biggest things you need to take out of that. So.
Okay. So Rand tells Weiramon to get his men ready and that he's not off to start a war. And Weiramon goes, but where are we going? And Rand snaps, the city, which clearly...
Also confusing.
Confuses Weiramon because he doesn't know if it's Ilion or Tyr or literally any other city. What? But he goes. And so, less than an hour later, Rand gets ready to make a gateway to travel, because everyone's sitting here ready and watching him.
Gotta move.
And he gets super dizzy when he embraces Saidin.
Yeah, so this is also has been happening, and it's getting worse.
It's getting way worse. Like he's seeing double, he's gonna fall off his horse. Like he's
drastically so bad that later on he embraces the source in his tent, so nobody can see him, and he has like a minute to actually
regain himself.
Yeah, which clearly we see also at the end of this chapter, where it's like bad. Like end of the episode, it's really bad.
It's bad.
It's bad.
It's really bad.
You can't protect yourself if you can't embrace Saidin.
No.
Very much so. You can't protect yourself.
Well, I mean, like he is an expert swordsman.
Sure. Sure, that'll help. Yep.
Against some people, not like Forsaken or anything.
Not against a bowman.
No. No, not
But
that.
he's got his wonderful Taviran-ness,
He
too,
does,
so like,
he
that
does
helps.
have that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
has Ashaman. How loyal they
Yeah.
actually are?
Loyal enough?
Question mark, but, you know...
Yeah.
We'll just kill these ones and find new ones.
Right.
Is that actually the plan? That's what it feels like the plan is.
To kill...
These Ashaman?
Like, these two specifically? These two, like,
I
buttholes
mean, like,
in charge?
okay, we'll get there.
Okay.
We'll get there. I actually have a specific note about it, because I was like, what? What?
Okay, yeah, bring it up again.
It reminded me of
I'm not
when
exactly sure what you're talking
Fael revealed her plan that she wanted to kidnap the
Yeah,
queen.
yeah, kidnap.
And I was
Yeah.
like, huh?
It's a good plan.
What? That was your plan?
It's like plan B.
We'll see. Okay. Anyway, here we are. So, Rand is really dizzy, and he takes, like, I guess a bit of time to regain himself, but he does notice that some of the Ashaman notice him
Yeah.
doing this, and he thinks to himself that they're smirking, as if they have, like, a knowing smile.
Yeah, and like they're always smirking, so maybe they're just smirking.
My question is Rand paranoid about this, or...
Yeah.
Are they actually seeing him stagger and think it's funny?
Well, they might, but also Rand is crazy paranoid, and it ramps up in these 2 chapters.
Yeah.
Like, severely ramps up.
But also,
We can track it.
If some of these Ashaman are dark friends,
Sure, okay.
and maybe know part of the plan about... Cause, like, I don't know.
What part of the plan?
I don't know.
The Dark Friend plan?
Maybe there's a plan to make Rand, like, really, like, not be able to
Do things good. Okay. Like, this has nothing to do with the other Ashaman here.
Yeah, but you've heavily implied that the whole Balefire crossfire has resulted in something like this.
Possibly.
Things have amped up since then.
Yeah, they have, but that's like also in a specific way,
More
which
edit.
not necessarily is the dizziness, but could affect it. Yeah. Like, the issue is there's a lot of things going wrong with our boy Rand and his brain.
And a lot of things for me to be suspicious and paranoid about.
You should be suspicious.
I'm suspicious and paranoid about every Ashman until I find out for sure what's going on with Taim.
Okay.
Because I know there's something.
Something.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So Rand and about 3,000 men head through to Ilion, but just north of the city. And Rand thinks about all the different factions he has making up these 3,000 people. Specifically, he thinks about who's not here right now.
Yeah.
And that's Narishma.
Super important plot point here.
Narishma isn't back. He hoped that Narishma would be back by now. He's not, but he knows where to find Rand.
Yes. So Rand really doesn't like this situation, and this is part of, I would say, the paranoia that he starts to spiral in these 2 chapters. So if you remember at the end...
when you send somebody that you really trust on a super secret mission, and then they're not back by when you expect them back by, that's a normal thing to be upset about.
I suppose so, but we don't know what the mission was, because we got to hear at the end of chapter 14, not a lot, but what Rand did say was, speak to no one, and do not fail me, not by a hair. So it was some sort of very, very specific, very important secret mission that Rand sent Narishma on, and he's, super cloaked. Nobody can know this, and we get that when Narishma comes back later.
And we still don't even
Super
really
undercover.
know what the whole thing was.
I'm going to need to get some speculation from you later on.
I don't have one. I'll start thinking now.
We'll talk about it. Roll that around.
Okay.
And then Rand, at this point, he's like, he's not back. He should be back. Why isn't he back? What does that mean? Is it bad? And then let's watch Rand spiral really hard.
Can't wait.
Okay?
Can't wait. So now we get a description of everyone keeping to themselves, everyone eyeing each other. We get a bunch of names. And Rand thinks about how some of these people have plotted against him. And he thinks about Weiramon being a moron. And then we get a description of all the servants and carts who are coming along.
Yeah, it's like a lot of exposition and recap on who people are.
So much stuff.
Yeah.
Now, nobody really understands why Rand sent all the wagons with the others, but he's not going to explain anything to anyone.
Yeah.
So there are some grumbles from the men because Rand is planning on entering the city.
He's not.
Oh, he's not planning on
They're
entering
all
the
grumpy
city.
because they're not going into Ilion, and everybody knows there's drinking and women in Ilion, and they don't get to go into Ilion.
Oh, no drinking, no women.
No nothing. They got to camp
No
outside in
fun.
the dumb tents.
Camping is no fun when it's raining. Everybody knows that.
Exactly. So Rand just literally sends in the one Ashaman of his more to go into Ilion.
For
something. And then, we find out later it's the extra man. It's the Legion of the Dragon.
Those guys.
More comes back with them. So clearly they're hunkering down for like not very much time at all.
Okay.
So that's why everyone's kind of pissy.
Yeah, and also the fact that all the Ashamen are setting up their camp with the power.
Oh my god, it's so funny. It's so funny because the Shiva freaking wanders over to Gedwin and Roche to, like, I don't know, try and talk to them. And then he comes back, he gets, like, sent away a minute later, and he's, like, all grumpy and mumbling to himself. Because he clearly tried to, like, go make friends or talk to them or something, and they told him, like, F off.
Oh.
It's really funny. It's, like, a little piece. He got rejected. By these, like,
annoying.
Mean girls.
Yeah.
They're mean girls.
Like, what's happening?
Well, because it's, like, the Black Tower people, and then it's, like, Rand's people. And they don't want any connection there. So
now, is Narishma one of the ones who Rand raised to
Deshiva. Deshiva is the one who like went over.
Oh, right. Is Deshiva one of the ones that Rand raised himself?
No.
Because you know how there was that, like, you're not a real
So Deshiva
Ashaman.
was the rando dude that Rand pointed to.
And it was like, you.
And he was a full Ashaman already.
Yeah.
So.
I still am, full disclosure, having a hard time. Like, I recognize all the names.
Deshiva, Narishma, like, there's a lot of...
But distinguishing who is who in this situation is difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, all the men who can't channel see the men who can channel setting up their tent with literally zero effort.
Like their whole thing,
drying the ground. Because it's still raining, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, stormy time. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
You're
telling me you wouldn't want to know how to channel? Come on.
I never said that.
Hypothetically, I'm saying that to, like, you know, generally... The attitude is like, oh, men wouldn't want to know how to channel.
Well, when you grow up with this stigma of, like, men channeling equals terrible bad.
Yeah.
Like, men channeling around you.
And that's like an
makes
understatement.
You uneasy. Yeah.
as if terrible bad equals, like, you're going to murder everyone you've ever known.
Right.
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So,
we also get this is the first reference to the leader of the men who followed the Lord Brand, like the bush people.
Oh, yeah.
The leader guy, and Ren notes him and thinks he looks he's smarter than he looks. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, because we do get that they came along.
Yeah.
They decided to follow Rand mostly.
A bunch of them, yeah.
Okay. So Rand goes into his own tent as soon as it's ready, and he thinks that in 2 to 3 days, the Seanchan will be dealt a blow that knocks them on their heels.
Yes.
And then it's back to Kyrian to deal with the sea folk again, and then to find out what Codswain is up to.
There's the checklist.
There's the to-do list.
And it does not go to plan.
Well, it might still.
Well, it's not 2 to 3 days.
Oh, that part, no.
That part is failing miserably.
Well, that part, no. But, like, the back to Kyrian and the dealing with the sea folk and dealing with Codswain, like, that's still on the to-do list.
That's true. Yeah.
But who knows what... You know what's going to pop up in this time frame before we get back to Kyrian to deal with the sea folk?
Okay. What?
Elaine is going to get to
yeah.
Caemlyn.
Yeah.
And it's not with Matt and the band.
Sure.
And Egwene.
Yeah. No. Nope.
Like Rand thinks.
No. Yeah, because there is
not
that. Yeah, there is that
So how
bit.
is Rand going to find out that Elaine is there? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll just have to... I don't know.
Yeah, most of this is not really gonna... And also Rand thinks like, oh, after she's in Caemlyn, I'm gonna have to avoid Caemlyn. But it's like, is Rand avoiding Caemlyn to like give Elaine the ability to take the throne by herself? Or is it like, I need to avoid Elaine because... I don't know, he's got a weird hang-up on his relationships.
Well, that's true, but I think that he thinks he needs to avoid Caemlyn to allow her the space to rule how she wants, because him being there obviously isn't
it's not
great.
the best situation.
No.
So. Okay.
But I do think he will have to show up to support her claim. And,
okay, yeah.
Even
you
though
did say that
she
last
doesn't
chapter,
like it, even though she won't want it, he does have to put her on the throne.
Yeah.
The way that he has set himself up there,
Give
and the
the
way that
official
Morgase
endorsement.
Well, and the way that Morgase left.
Yeah.
Right? And the fact that he also wants Elaine on the Sun Throne.
Yep.
Like, he's gonna have to show up and talk to Elaine.
He's gonna have to talk to his girlfriend at some point. He's gonna have to.
And I mean, it's literally been, over a year since they've actually talked?
Eesh, okay.
Probably. Right?
Yeah, is that counting letters? I don't know.
Well, the letters...
It's not good.
The letters were a year ago.
Yeah.
Have there been letters since? I don't know. There's been dream messages
But then there was that whole thing where Elaine was like, oh, go and tell Rand that...
I meant what I said in the letter. And he's like, what the fuck?
That makes it worse. Yeah. No, it's not good. Like, okay.
Uh-huh.
Relationships are hard.
Yep. That's a way to say it.
But the biggest thing that Rand thinks about, let's talk about that. But how he needs to talk to Nynaeve. Hello.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wonders if Sidene can be cleansed. It might work, and it might destroy the world.
Yes.
And Lews Therin starts gibbering in excitement and terror.
Yeah, so here's the thing. The other chapter, after the whole forest incident with the stabby stab in the wound,
Yeah.
he started thinking that, hey, I think I got a plan on how I can make this happen.
That's right, yeah.
I don't know if it's going to work. And now here he's thinking, I got to talk to Nynaeve, see what she thinks on his whole plan. He's got a plan brewing.
Why? Because she's good. He knows she's good at
That's the question.
healing?
Maybe. That's the thing.
I wonder or because she's so powerful?
Maybe.
Does he know that even?
Yeah, I think so.
Because that was always my thing.
Yeah.
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Okay, so a touch of foreshadowing, I think.
We're getting a lot of hints, and if
so much. It's got to happen soon now at this point.
They at least need to, try. Because, not to say that it's going to work how everybody always,
It's going to be really helpful when he learns that Elaine is in Camelin with Nynaeve.
Yeah, okay.
Except that how? When?
Yeah.
Is he ever...
Yeah,
Ugh. Communication sucks around here.
Right.
It's going to infuriate me.
Okay.
All right, this is where Narishma shows up.
Yeah, he's here. He's back.
He's here.
From Secret Mission.
He steps into the tent and he's soaking wet from the rain outside.
Because it's so secret that he's not even allowed to, channel.
Pretend. Yeah, he's just
he got it, super undercover.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so Rand has given him orders to avoid notice at all costs, and he's scowling and carrying a tied bundle with a cord. And Rand snatches it.
Looks like a small carpet.
Rolled up. It is a magic carpet.
Nice.
No,
I love it.
That's not it.
It's
whatever's
Rand's favorite.
inside.
It's okay. So it's not the carpet.
No, because later it's in a smaller bundle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway, Rand snatches it and says, "Did anyone see you? What took you so long?"
Paranoid.
And Narishma says in a super flat voice, "It took a while to figure out what I had to do. You didn't tell me everything, and you nearly killed me."
Yeah, so that's big. That's important.
And Rand thinks that's ridiculous. I for sure told him everything.
So who do we believe?
Narishma.
I just want to see where you're at here. Because Rand clearly is I didn't do anything wrong. This must be your fault why you're late.
Yeah.
And Narishma's like, F you, buddy.
Yeah.
You forgot, you left out some important information.
How about a thank you? No workplace appreciation.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
It means veer right.
Yeah. Yeah. No, Rand is for sure the boss who's tells you barely anything.
No, I told you what to do.
Get me get me a rundown.
Yeah.
You gonna give me that rundown?
What exactly are you looking for in the rundown?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need me to explain it to you?
No.
Nope.
It's cool.
It's cool. But then he's gonna get killed if he doesn't get the rundown.
Yeah. Right.
Or he gets killed trying to get the rundown. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh.
Or sending the rundown out to anybody else if you do it to the wrong person.
Oh my goodness.
He's also going to kill you.
Okay.
I
blame Jim. I feel like Jim should know what a rundown is at this point in his life.
I mean, maybe.
There are other references in the show to a rundown, by the way.
I mean, we could talk about Michael Scott didn't really train Jim to do anything other than what his job was.
That's true.
So,
That's true. Okay.
Right? And Jim was assistant regional manager when they were in that other place.
That's true.
And the dude who took the job at Staples, Josh, he also was he was on his way out, so he didn't teach Jim anything he needed to know.
Okay, so it's not Jim's fault?
It's not Jim's fault, it's management's fault.
So it's not Narishma's fault, it's Rand's fault.
Absolutely, it's Rand's fault.
Good workaround back to the point.
There we go.
Like we're professionals.
Right? Okay, go.
Now, Rand checks the bundle to make sure.
Nope. He fights the urge to check it.
Oh, I thought he did check it.
He doesn't check it. Oh. He wants to make sure it's actually what he sent Narishma for.
Yeah.
But he doesn't do that.
Oh, I thought he does check it to make sure.
Not here in front of Narishma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, that changes the scene.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so he doesn't check it, and then he sends Narishma away.
Yeah.
And he says, "You tell anyone about this, I'll straight up kill you."
Yeah.
And then Lews Therin.
I love this.
Who's just the comedic relief of this entire situation.
He's like the worst motivational speaker that you'll ever hear.
He has, really funny comedic timing.
Yeah.
And he's got some jokes.
He does.
He has some jokes here. You want to hear his jokes?
Yep.
He says, kill the whole world. I killed the world, and you can do it too if you try hard enough.
Worst motivational speaker, right?
So funny. Like, that's a funny joke.
No, it's pretty good.
Lutheran.
Yeah.
Coming in with the jokes.
It's great.
I love it.
Anyways,
Okay.
Rand's fault.
Okay, so the next morning, 1,000 men of the Legion of the Dragon come marching out of Ilion.
Yep.
And now the Legion of the Dragon are...
So those are the guys
who
Taim was recruiting, who couldn't actually channel. So they got sent to become this like other party.
Okay.
That Bashir and Matt trained.
Oh, okay.
Or like had Bashir trained them, but like Matt kind of came up with the plan.
Because solely they want to.
Yeah, because Taim went into their different towns and was like, hey, do you want to follow the Lord Dragon?
I remember now, yep.
And they come. So that's who these guys are. So that's why they wear the symbol.
Yeah.
The dragon like on their chest.
And their coats button up on the side so that it doesn't cut off.
So you can see it.
Yeah.
Be like, hey, that's who we are. And these are the guys who like have a special like weapon scheme because they right now have crossbows and short swords.
Okay.
Crossbows are the thing.
And Weiramon hates foot soldiers.
He's like, gross.
And so do the other nobles.
They all do, because they're all like, cavalry is the best.
Disgusting. They don't even have pikes.
Because pikes are big, long, pointy sticks that are really good for keeping...
Are you explaining to me what pikes are again? Because I already told you I don't.
But that's why the whole like foot soldiers usually have pikes. So they're like, oh, not only are they gross foot soldiers, they're useless because they don't have what is common weaponry. But we know that Matt had the whole thing about crossbows.
Yes.
They got the special plans.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So now Rand has Nishima's bundle rewrapped.
Narishma.
What'd I say?
Like Nishima or something? That's okay. Narishma.
Okay.
I will teach you these names.
Whatever. It's not going to work. Anyway, it's strapped to his horse under his saddle.
Yeah.
Smaller. Tied up smaller.
Not a carpet.
Not a carpet.
What is it?
Something...
What is it?
I honestly don't know.
That's fair.
Should I have an idea at this
not necessarily.
point?
There's not enough information for you to actually have any like real clue what's happening here, but you know.
Okay, because like, what would he want here? What would he need? A terangrial of some kind, or like an angrial of some kind, because he doesn't have an angrial.
That's true. His little fat man is gone.
Yeah, we still haven't had any mention of that.
Okay.
And Narishma had to go travel somewhere to find something somewhere.
That's true.
And it's something that's going to help him.
That's true too. Those are a lot of clues. You got like a lot of clues.
Those clues suck.
Your clues are phenomenal.
It's something that's going to help him, and Narishma had to go find it somewhere. Those are the clues.
Those are fantastic clues that you just came up with. Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
That was fantastic. That was like great investigatory work.
Sometimes I just think you're just being an ass.
I'm not. I'm not. I'm being 100% serious. I'm being honest. That was like good. But now it's like you got to put the clues together.
And here's my partner, Terrible Detective. That's what I feel like you're going to tell me next.
Yeah.
I don't believe that you believe that this was good.
No, you have all the pieces of the puzzle.
Okay, then did I come to the right conclusion?
You didn't come to a conclusion.
Yeah, Angriel.
What is it?
Angriel. It's an Angriel for Rand.
What is it?
An Angriel for Rand. A long one wrapped up in a package.
Where would Narishma ever get a long Angriel wrapped up in a package?
Taim.
Why would Narishma go to Taim?
No, he didn't go there. He had to sneak in.
Steal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the Forsakens... no. Maybe. In Samael's quarters...
Sure.
In Ilion, we know for sure that Grandal just went in there and stole a bunch of stuff because Samael had like a cache of things. Maybe there was something in there that could help a man who can channel.
That's true.
Because that's what Samael would have.
That's true.
And that's what Grandal would leave because she would know.
Yeah. I love it because you have all the pieces of the puzzle. And then you just like
I'm so wrong.
You put them together in the wrong puzzle, but it's like the same basic shape is correct.
Yeah.
It's just like not quite the right picture.
Shoot.
Let's keep moving.
I feel like that's gotta be it anyway.
Let's keep going. Let's keep going. It might come to you. Let it stew. Let that go into your the back part of your brain.
You know what's funny? When I read this, I think to myself, Brett's gonna want to know what I think this is, and I can't come up with anything. Yeah. And I just keep reading.
Yeah.
But when we're sitting here and I can come up with 18 things just like off the top of my head. So that's why I always wait. Because that's when I come up with my best stuff.
It's the alcohol. Oh my god, okay.
Oh man. Okay. That's the trick.
Okay.
Didn't Hemingway always write drunk or something like that?
I'm pretty sure everyone was always drunk in the past, and, that's how it goes.
Okay. All right. Where are we? What's happening? Oh.
Bundle, strapped to the horse.
We're moving again.
Oh yeah, we're going, yeah.
Okay. So Rand has Dashiva weave the gateway this time, and is this where he did Saidin by himself in his tent before, and he's holding on to it now?
No, that's...
Later?
That's the later part.
That's later. Okay, so here Rand doesn't risk holding Saidin.
Yeah.
Right? And then Dashiva does it, but Dashiva seems a little offended, but I feel like Dashiva always seems offended.
He's always got his head in the clouds, but it's just the whole
it's weird.
The other the two Black Tower Ashermen are smirky.
They're smirky and stuff, they know what's going on.
Well, it's because Rand's telling you what to do, and it's it could be a lot of things, but
doing it.
They're mean. They're literally mean girls. They're just they're mean girls. That's what it is.
Okay.
Terrible.
Oh my god.
So you agree? You think you're pretty?
Yeah, I was going to say, oh my god, I love your skirt.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that skirt is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Okay, so the gateway opens up to
that
the
gateway
foothouse.
Is so fetch.
Nice.
Okay.
Stop trying to make fetch happen.
Okay.
You should watch Mean Girls.
It's such a quotable movie. It's so good, yeah.
Okay, so the gateway opens up to the foothills of some mountain somewhere.
Yeah, so you can
Tell
actually
me.
find it on the map. Because on the west...
Well, no, you can, see some drawings of little triangles on the map.
Yeah, that's the mountain range.
Yeah.
The west coast
labeled.
of Ilion.
It's not labeled.
No, it's not.
I went and looked.
The west coast of Ilion has a mountain range, and that's where they're going to the foothills there.
Okay.
Yeah.
On which side? On the
west.
Ilion side? Or on the
west.
other side?
Left side.
The west side.
The west side of Ilion.
Got it.
Left of the map. Because the Seanchan are coming from the left.
And so they're on the other side of the mountains before they can get there.
Because there's the two roads. The Silver Road and the Gold Road, we find out.
That's right.
Yeah. They're just literally going up the road to where the one road where the Seanchan could possibly come from.
Right.
That's where they're going.
All right. And then everyone starts to realize where they are because there's these only two reliable roads.
Yeah, basically, if you look at the map, there's literally two roads that spread off, and they're on the left one. That's where they are.
All right. So now, if the Seanchan are going to attack Ilion, it's going to be on this roadway.
And, maybe. Yeah. We know the Seanchan, but, maybe not, because they have flying monsters.
It is. And then everyone realizes that if Rand is intending to fight the Seanchan, then that's why all the Ashermen are here.
Yes.
Because they have all heard the rumors of the Seanchan using Chained Aes Sedai to fight, right?
And then Weiramon doesn't get it.
No.
And it's Weiramon, Asherman, make stuff explode.
Someone has to explain it to him.
It's okay.
And now Rand and the army settle in to wait. Rand thinks it's only going to be another day or so, but then as the days stretch out, he starts wondering if he's as big an idiot as Weiramon.
Yeah.
And then Rand...
Because he thought the Seanchan were going to be here in 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
But they're not here.
They're not here yet. So now Rand has most of the Ashermen searching for the rest of those that Rand wanted to be here.
Yeah, so not the Seanchan. They're not searching for the Seanchan.
Mm-hmm. This is where it got a little confusing, but I get it later.
A lot of names.
So, yeah. Now, but even they can only search so fast in these storms right now. And then after a few days, people start rolling in and we get a bunch of names. This is when it's what's happening here? I thought these people didn't like Rand.
Yeah, and they don't. And that's the point.
Yeah,
he's literally bringing in everybody who's plotting against him, and he's bringing all them with everyone having 50 to 100 retainers.
Yeah.
So we can kind of estimate later on roughly what the size of the army is, but...
I don't care about that at all.
Oh, okay.
Yep. You can tell me later.
I don't know why I said that I'm surprised, because I'm not actually surprised, but that's okay. That's okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not even a little bit do I care. What I've learned last book and this book is that the amount of people going anywhere doesn't matter at all. It's either a lot or not a lot.
To you.
Sometimes you think it's a lot, and then it's actually not, and it doesn't matter.
Well, and 5 years ago, it would be a lot, but now it's not a lot.
We'll talk about it later. I already told you.
Oh, my God.
You're skipping ahead.
Get in, loser. We're going to the next chapter.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Did you plan that out earlier?
No, I didn't.
That was off the top of your head?
No. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Thank you.
Yeah, so basically we end this chapter with Rand and the army waiting here for 2 days, and then 5 days, and then 8, and then finally Davram Bashir arrives.
Yeah, he's not happy.
He's not really happy. He's like, you gotta tell me what's happening here.
Like, just something. Just like a little bit.
Just something. I thought we established some trust.
Yeah.
You get an Asherman to show up, tell him that Rand needs him immediately, and then I can bring no more than 1,000 men.
Yeah, but he only has 500 with him, so that's what's here.
Wherever he was.
Yeah.
Which we don't even know.
No, it's not important, but he's here now with 500 guys.
Because wasn't he going and dealing with something? Some rebels or something?
Yep.
Anyway,
like bandits and all that crap, so it's fine.
And then Bashir says, it can't be a battle. Half of those banners out there are people who want you dead.
Yeah, because he literally just brought in all the traitors.
Now, what Rand actually says, I'm going to need you to read the quote he says.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't get it. This is what you had to explain to me.
Really? This one was easy.
The butcher one?
The butcher's bill.
Yeah.
So in war, there's a butcher's bill. So the butcher being like, people are gonna die.
Yeah.
So who would you rather have die?
No, I know. Read what Rand specifically says, though.
Okay.
Because I didn't quite understand what at all was happening here.
So Rand says, if you're going to fight a battle, who better to pay the butcher's bill than men who want you dead?
Okay. Okay, so to pay the butcher's bill means to die in battle?
Yes.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So if people are going to die, I'd rather them be people who are going to betray me than people who are loyal to me. So I'm going to get all the people who suck and are plotting against me to come in and be in like this army
and
to attack the Seanchan.
Battle.
But then the second half of his like he tells Bashir like, hey, the soldiers don't matter because the Ashermen are here.
Yeah, basically the soldiers are here to stop anybody from sneaking up on the Asherman.
Yeah.
And then Bashir laughs, and so does Luce Theron.
Yeah.
And that's the end of this chapter.
Yeah. So Rand has a point about like, hey, I mean, yeah, that makes sense. Like, let the people who are not loyal to you die in battle for you because they did pledge to him, but they're clearly like trying to undercut him. But Rand's not intending to have these people fight or die. We get it next chapter where he explains, like, I just want them to be aware that I know that they're still around.
Yeah.
Like, he thinks that.
Okay.
He doesn't have time to spend a lot of time.
He has some tactics. He's like, he does. Whatever.
Rand's really smart.
Feeling for here is Rand's situational crazy. Remember from book 3 where I was like, I don't know if this is actually like the Tape Madness or if like the situation he's in like is awful. This also isn't good for his mental health.
No.
Like, he's completely isolated.
Yeah.
He's doing everything here by himself, and even people he could talk to or trust or whatever, like Bashir.
He doesn't because he doesn't know who he can trust.
Exactly.
Which is fair. So Rand is, like, very narrowly focused on do what needs to be done to win the last battle and F-ed everything else.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about himself. He doesn't care about relationships. He's
but
like,
what he does care about, though, is all these kind of things on his to-do list that he has to do before the last battle.
He's very analytical in his, like...
Yeah.
That's why I like Rand. Like, I get along with Rand in my brain. That's why he's my favorite. Because he's super analytical. Like,
he's not emotional at all.
Except for the whole, like, the don't let women die ever thing.
Oh, and that's just, like, way too emotional.
But, like, everything else he does...
But even that is a touch analytical in his own brain.
It is. Like, he has a weird irrational thought process, but the way he goes about it is, like, he really thinks things through on a lot of different levels.
Yeah.
And RJ makes Rand very smart in his actions.
Okay. Well, we talked for longer about that chapter than I thought.
Fair.
I need a new drink, so let's take a quick break.
Yep.
Chat with some of our Discord friends, and then come back to talk about chapter 22. All right, so we're back with chapter 22, Gathering Clouds.
Ooh, okay.
Now, should I know what that means? I just thought right now that I don't know what that means.
The clouds are gathering, like at the end of the chapter. There's literal clouds gathering.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's clouds.
Okay, are there metaphorical clouds that are gathering?
I would say so. Like the metaphorical
like
cloud of war.
There's a plot happening?
Well, it seems like literally there's going to be war soon.
Okay.
Like, it does seem that way from everything we've seen.
Well, the chapter symbol is the Adam.
Yeah.
Which got me excited.
Because Seanchan.
We're going to get there. I thought, ooh, this is the time when something happens.
We are getting there. Like, come on. We're, like, so close.
Ugh, I just want the showdown already.
It's only an issue because of the way we read this. Otherwise, you would still be reading.
That's true.
Right.
I'd be done.
You'd be done the series.
But yes.
Not the point.
Multiple times, probably. Once, at least.
This is making you way better at it, though. let's continue. Let's move into this.
Okay, so we continue in our Rand perspective. Continuing on from last chapter, Rand and his small army are forming columns ready to travel through different gateways.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. There's 9 columns of people.
Okay.
Yeah. So we've got 4 columns who are under Bashir's command, and then 5 that are under the Legion of the Dragon guys, the people who are like loyal to Rand.
Yeah.
And all the nobles.
That guy's got a good name. I noted that name.
Jack Masson? Jack Masson?
Yeah.
Jack.
But missing a C.
Missing the C, yeah.
J-A-K. I like that. Jack.
Yeah. We got a missing E-S from Charles, and then we got the missing...
Oh, that's so funny that
if you add up all the missing...
I have to stop you. You think that Charles is...
Missing an ES.
Missing an ES, but I think it's added an H. I thought it was Carl.
You gotta add up all the letters, and then there's a secret message.
Oh my god.
That RJ's hidden in the novel series.
Oh my.
Right?
Okay.
Okay. $1 million to whoever figures that one out. Okay. Anyway, not from me, but from somebody.
Yeah, good clarification.
Just want to make sure that's clear. Yeah. So all the nobles hate the fact that the Legion is like in charge of columns.
Yeah.
Because they're dirty foot soldiers.
Right. Disgusting.
Yeah, hated. But anyways.
And Rand is dressed up as much as possible. And so he's got the dragon scepter, the crown of swords on. Yeah. And he shined them real good.
He's decked out to the nines here.
He's got his belt buckle and his fancy cloak with gold thread. And he thinks for a minute he regrets giving up the jewels on the scabbard, which is a funny little callback because just 2 chapters ago, Avienda was selling those.
Because if he hadn't, then his girlfriends would be totally freezing right now.
They would be cold.
They wouldn't have fur coats.
Yeah. Unless they learned how to just pry jewels out of their jewelry.
Nope. Can't figure that one out.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't understand it.
Me neither.
That's fine.
Okay, so now he thinks, let the Seanchan know who has come to destroy them.
So we
and I was like, okay, you're destroying all the Seanchan right now?
Yep. For anyone who's keeping track, he's got about 6,000 soldiers here.
Okay, cool. Which is important later because the Seanchan dude is like, oh, they got a lot of people.
Yeah.
More than us.
Well, you're assuming that he thinks that who he sees is Rand's army. Oh!
What?
Yeah.
I didn't even consider that.
Well, you should. Anyways, let's move on.
Oh, no. Oh, I gotta digest that for a second.
Also, what is in the package? What's in the package?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the package already. Okay. So now the Ashermen have formed, and, you know, they're fairly strong, and Rand's requirement is that they're all capable of forming a gateway.
Yes. So, okay, so I'm going to just do names real quick, just as a reminder, because we got to keep track of this stuff. We've got the Black Tower, we've got Gedwin and Rochade.
Who are the smirky mean girls.
They're like the Ashermen, the full guys.
Yeah.
Full Ashermen.
From
the Black
Tower, who didn't really like being summoned.
Yeah, well, I mean, nobody does.
Yeah.
But we've got 8 dedicated and 40 soldiers. And then Rand's guys, we've got Hopwell, Moore, Flynn, Deshiva, Adley, and Narishma.
So 6.
7. 6. Yeah, that's how fingers work.
Okay.
Yeah. I was counting on my fingers, too.
Yeah, but you might have counted on your other hand.
No,
for
I
one.
know. No, it's 6.
On your thumb? No?
No, we're good.
Because I watched you count.
Yeah, no, it's, you know.
It's 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 6. And they're all full Asherman because Rand raised all of them.
So 14. 14 and 40.
Yeah, you're doing 8 dedicated plus the 6
other guys.
Asherman. Yeah. Dedicated are not the same as Asherman.
Oh, we have 8 dedicated?
8 dedicated, and we've got 6 Asherman with Rand, 2 Asherman from the Black Tower. And then
so
40 soldiers.
8 Asherman total.
Yes. 8 Asherman, 8 dedicated, 40 soldiers.
But some of Rand's Asherman, he raised himself.
Yeah. Most of them.
Okay. All right. Got it.
That was a lot of numbers.
And names.
Yeah.
Didn't remember.
Don't worry. I'll quiz you on it later.
Okay. So Rand thinks that the taint on Sidene is especially heavy today. Mm-hmm. Especially bad. Mm-hmm. And it's, you know, weighing on him and makes him feel disgusting and gross and nauseated. Yeah. Which comes into play later.
Yeah.
So
I'm gonna pause you right here for just a second.
What?
Because Narishma's package. Last chapter, you came up with a bunch of really good clues.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Yep.
Now, I want you to go over this next, segment.
Okay.
Considering all those clues you thought of.
Okay. So he presses his leg against the bundle strapped here under his like saddle.
Yep.
And every time he does that, something wriggles across the void, anticipation, and maybe a touch of fear. Okay. I didn't connect he's like excited or fearful or anticipating something with the package.
Okay.
Should I?
Maybe.
Okay.
Because he also thinks about how we get like the weird story about like the Forsaken.
Yeah.
He was told stories as a boy.
Yep.
And then he thinks like, oh, let the Forsaken come.
You know
because
why
I'm gonna
he
make them
thinks
weep.
about that though? Because it's raining, and one of the stories was every time it's like raining, it's the Dark One is making Semirog cry.
Yeah. But LTT knows. He knows.
LTT is like, Semirog doesn't cry. She makes other people cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has no tears left for herself. But, so.
She's the torturer one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. What's in the package?
Okay.
We don't know.
But also,
Yep.
what I actually wanted to talk about was Luce Theron chiming in and having information about Semirog that Rand couldn't possibly have on his own.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Real.
Yeah. I mean, real is it's a tough, real, in what sense?
Brett.
In what sense?
He's real. He's there.
Okay.
As in, he's there.
Yeah.
He's real. And
I understand that you think
different
that.
than Rand in there.
Yeah.
Rand couldn't make up that information
I'm not
himself.
saying that Rand's making that up. That's not what I'm saying. we have time.
Okay.
We have time.
Okay. Not much though.
We got.
Okay, we got some time.
Okay.
All right. So now, not everyone is super happy about these orders because there's these 6,000 soldiers, and even like a few years ago, this would have been a big enough army for any war.
Yeah, huge. But now
we
not
need
so much.
tens of thousands of soldiers, and this is literally my issue that I'm having with this whole thing.
That's
and
the
so
whole thing.
some people are like, if we're up against the Seanchan,
we want more
need
people.
more than this.
Yeah.
Especially more than this rabble
yes.
gang.
It's
of
like not
people
even
who
like
don't
good
like
soldiers.
Each other. Yeah. This isn't like a good, solid army.
Yeah.
This is a bad Reggle-Taggle army.
Yes, but the point is that this isn't supposed to be fighting
and
with swords
also,
battle.
we're not taking on the entire Seanchan.
Yeah, well,
right?
here's
like,
the thing.
We're just stopping them from invading Ilion.
Here's the thing. We don't know what Rand was expecting. Rand was expecting the Seanchan to come to him. They sat on that road for a while.
And it didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
Oh, so this is his changed plan? Where, okay, now we're going to them?
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
He sat on the road for a while, and it seemed like...
Because I thought he was waiting for Dashiva.
But he said in 2 to 3 days, we're going to deal a huge blow to the Seanchan so much they're going to tremble in their boots. That's what he said. And
but
then
I thought maybe he thought he would move faster because people would, like, that he wanted to go, would get to him faster. Like, I thought Dashiva would get, like... Oh,
which might be true.
It
might be true because he was also frustrated that people weren't like getting back to him fast enough. So this is the thing: is we don't really know exactly what Rand's original plan was, and if this is like plan B.
I have no idea what's even going on
because Rand's not telling anyone either,
including us,
including himself.
Ah,
that's the best way to keep the most secret plan.
Remember the old days when we'd get Moraine perspectives, and she wouldn't even tell us what she was actually thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was annoying. We'll see Moraine again, though, by the way.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it.
Right, because
when
she's totally...
we find her again.
She's totally not dead.
Totally not dead somehow, some way.
I like it. Okay.
Some other
The important thing... Okay, also coming back to the whole, like, the army business, Rand is also thinking, like, he hasn't explained that the Ashaman
are the hammer.
They're the hammer, but also he thinks, like, I'm the hammer.
Yeah. Maybe. If you can hold Sidene,
yeah,
idiot.
That's the problem.
Can't.
He needs just like a warm-up, though. If he can warm up properly, so he doesn't pull a muscle or something, then he's good. Mm-hmm. Doesn't warm up, pulls a muscle, he's out for the game. It's bad.
Okay, well, he pulls a muscle.
Real hard.
Real fast.
It's the ladies' fault. Let's blame it on them.
Oh my god. Okay, let's talk about them. Okay,
Yeah.
so Weirmon comes up to complain about his placement in the fight.
Yeah.
And Rand is like, go away, I don't care about you.
Yeah. Stupid idiot.
And then some high ladies ride over.
And they all...
And they're like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't want to fight in this war.
Yeah, I'll send the people, but like I don't want to be here.
I have no desire to be in battle.
Yeah.
And then one of them says, we've heard you have a particular care for women, so maybe...
Yes.
we shouldn't fight because you don't want us to die.
Let's talk more about Rand spiraling, because immediately, as soon as they say that, he's like,
so bad.
oh my god, how do they know that? What kind of spies have been telling people my secrets?
How do they know? How much do they know? Who had heard that?
Yeah.
Who had told them?
It's like, okay, number one, Rand, you aren't exactly secretive.
No, you're literally,
about this.
You have a list of women who have died because of you.
Everyone's seen you do this, man.
Yeah.
Like, everyone knows this is a problem.
Yeah.
And I mean, maybe his inner circle,
and I mean,
knows.
to be fair, there also are no maidens here.
That's true. That's true.
Which, by the way, there are no maidens here.
Which is a thing, and we got to talk about that because how he goes through this battle plan.
Yeah.
But the whole, like, how do people know?
He also was like, oh, there are tons of rumors about how I personally murdered Morghese, Elaine, Colivere.
Yeah.
Why would anybody believe this nonsense about...
Yeah, which is also a valid point, too. Like, that's totally true.
And Rand says, I do try to be careful with women. That's why I want you close by. But if you really don't like this idea, then I'll send you to the Black Tower for protection.
This is like how he scared that other woman
and
originally.
And they go scurrying off. But the problem here is he was so shocked by what they said.
Yeah. That's why he lost
that
Saidin.
He loses his grip on Saidin. Like,
this is where he did it in the tent.
How?
Because he's freaking out that they know about his issues.
And but like to let go of Saidin,
He's very shocked.
God.
He's spiraling into the whole who can I trust situation.
Yeah.
And that comes back later because then he literally starts questioning how he trusts everyone, including all of his own Ashaman, and especially Narishma.
Yeah.
And it's like, Rand, you gotta calm down, buddy. Dude was a little bit late.
He
was
what?
Like, hey, you didn't tell me.
I think that like Bashir being here is positive for Rand.
Okay.
Because I do think that there is a certain level of trust and respect and almost like fatherly. Like, that's what Rand is missing.
We get that thought process from Rand that he does trust Bashir with his life.
Yeah.
I like Bashir.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Yeah.
He's loungy.
Yeah. He certainly throws his leg over many
Every
armchairs.
Time. I love it. I love it so much.
It's very loungy.
And
That's next time I'm sitting in an armchair.
Immediately
putting my leg over that arm.
Yes.
That's how people will know.
And then whipping knives at people.
Oh, also that.
Immediately.
That's how people will know.
First impressions.
They matter.
Hey.
They matter. Okay, anyway, so the women scurry off, and then Rand tells Gedwyn to begin.
Here we go.
And the Ashaman start barking orders, and the 8 dedicated come up and form the gateways.
Yep.
And now this is what I have to assume.
Yep.
I'm going to link back to Dashiva making the gateway last time.
Yep.
And then them all smirking.
Yep.
Because here, the dedicated are the, like, lower rank.
Yes.
And they do the grunt work.
Yep.
And the fact that Dashiva did it, it's not like, oh, honorable, like, oh,
yes,
the dragon's asking you to do something.
It's like, oh, that's
for him.
lowly people work.
Lowly people work. That's
Absolutely.
right.
But also, Rand was gonna do this gateway himself.
Yes.
But then he lost the power,
and
so
now
he can't. So now he asks Tashiva to do it. So
no, this time he orders Flynn.
Flynn, you're right. Sorry.
Yes.
But exactly, like it's totally just like a hierarchical garbage Mean Girls thing.
But where we're going is somewhere south in Altara.
Yep, where the Seanchan are.
Where the Seanchan are.
Yeah, that's basically where we're jumping.
Yeah, because I don't know, we did talk about it briefly, but the Ashaman were all gatewaying around.
Yeah.
To scout to find where they were.
To get the people. Well, no. So
to find where the Seanchan are.
Not yet.
That's what they did. How do they know where they are to Gateway 2?
They don't know yet.
Oh, is that coming up?
The earlier gateways were to find the people who were plotting against Rand to bring them into the army.
Oh.
And now they're just going into
this
Altara.
Is all so complex.
They're going into Altara, and that's as soon as they jump through the gateways into Altara, then the Ashaman are all going out
happens.
to go scout for where the Seanchan are. Because the Seanchan haven't shown up on the road, so it seems like possibly Rand is like, okay,
they're still further back. Let's go find where they are.
Let's go find them.
Because I thought they were coming here because they already knew, but no, that's later.
Seem that way.
Okay. Yeah. See, I'm all mixed up.
Yeah, which is fair. It's confusing because, again, Rand's not telling anyone his plan.
Okay. Now the rest of the army starts coming through the gateways, and Bashir rides up to Rand and says, yeah, there's no Seanchan here, but there could have been. Now, I think we missed talking about this part, but Rand bolts in through one of the gateways first by himself.
Yeah.
And that was bad.
Yeah, I wanted to kind of point this out because there's a huge difference between when he's with the maidens, because when he opens gateways, they all leap through first no matter what to scout it out, even if it's like to somewhere where it should be safe.
Yeah.
But here, Rand jumps through first.
Do that
no one's
for
doing
him.
that.
And even if Rand were to do that, he would get, like, seriously scolded.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, Bashir gets it. He's like, hey, man.
Don't do that.
Well, it's really funny because he's like, hey, so I'm going to be in trouble from my queen because I'm following the Dragon Reborn. I'm going to be in more trouble
which I actually
if
want to
you're
talk about.
Dead.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
So, Dashiva... No. Yeah, that's his name?
No.
Bashir. But
Davram.
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 That's... Okay, this is the problem. Okay, Bashir...
Yeah, I get it. Everyone, we all know.
Okay.
We all understand.
Okay, so he specifically says, I'm going to be in trouble for following the Dragon Reborn.
Yeah.
From Queen Tenobia.
Because he was sent here to go and find Taim.
Right. And who's a false dragon. Who escaped.
Who destroyed Saldea, a lot of it.
Yeah. And now I'm following the Dragon Reborn. So, like, I'm already in trouble.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to be in more trouble if the Dragon Reborn that I'm following
is dead. Yeah.
That's going to look bad.
That's the worst Dragon Reborn, is the dead one, because he can't do anything.
So maybe don't be an idiot and do things impulsively.
Go through
and
second.
And Rand thinks, yeah, maybe.
Interesting point.
Maybe,
This guy says a lot of crazy things, but this thing, I mean, I kind of agreeing with. Okay.
And also, Rand is still not holding Saidin because he didn't want to re-grab it.
Yep.
Or whatever.
And get all super dizzy.
And get all dizzy again.
Yep.
And so now at this point, they go on and on and on about a statue of a queen, like an old broken statue of some old ancient queen.
Yeah, it's a life story though.
Okay, well,
it's a story with a moral.
Okay.
It is kind of weird because Rand is the one who brings up like, hey, what's that statue?
I think he just wanted to change the subject.
He did. But
and
then
Bashir
like
has the history of it.
And maybe
he starts kind of saying anything he knows about it.
Yeah.
And then Rand is like, I'm not interested in that. Bye.
Well, so Bashir's point is like, hey, this is a queen. They made statues of her. She was probably a conqueror. She probably did lots of stuff. But here's the thing, is if you fucking die, then it's all kind of for nothing, man. Yeah. So don't die before you're supposed to.
But then Rand isn't interested in anything he's saying.
Yeah.
And
so
then
he does have a good point.
Yeah, there's that.
Yeah, but Rand, you're right. Rand doesn't want to hear it.
No.
Okay.
And then everything happens all at once, and I get very confused.
Right.
So here's what I picked up.
Okay.
So there's some motion in the corner of Rand's eye, about 50 paces away, and a man steps out into the open.
Yeah.
With a bow, an arrow, right?
Yeah.
Like, not a crossbow, like a bow.
Yeah, bow and arrow. He draws it.
He draws. And Rand just, like,
sees it and
takes off in his horse.
Well, it doesn't take off. He, like, pulls his horse around.
Oh, I thought he was just, like, going.
No, he doesn't go anywhere. He just, like, pulls. Probably, like, I would imagine pulling on the reins to, like, wheel his horse around. Away? Like, to maybe, like, change directions and, like,
Okay.
Like, oh,
now,
shit.
because I thought he, like, started galloping or something, but it doesn't really matter. He tries to seize Saidin in this moment, but his head spins.
Yep.
And he thinks he hears Bashir shout something.
Yep.
Rand sees the archer shoot.
Yep.
And Rand knows that he should have died.
Yep.
But just as the archer released the arrow, a bunch of, like, quail.
1,000 birds.
Yeah. 1,000,000 birds burst up at his feet.
Yeah.
And throw the man off just enough that the arrow misses Rand's face. Because I thought that there was, like, a lot of things happening, but Rand was also, like, in the process of, like, riding and moving.
Yeah, so no,
that would make it harder
so Rand
to hit
and
him.
Bashir were literally just standing talking about this dumb statue.
Yeah.
Rand sees the motion of the archer basically step out and shoot, and then he tries to, like, pull his horse to, like, do something and tries to
and Rand's like, it's probably because I was Taviran that all those birds just...
Well, literally that.
Yeah.
That's probably literally what being Taviran is, right? Because he can't embrace Saidin to, like, make a, field of air to deflect the arrow or
whatever
something.
He would have done.
Or whatever, literally whatever he's going to do.
Yeah.
And that's why in the chapter it describes, like, and then there's 2 archers. But that's because he's double visioned. He's double visioned. There are 2 archers.
I got that.
Yeah,
part.
okay.
I did understand that.
So that's the weird part about that.
No, I did get that. And then at this point, the archer takes a couple fireballs
Yep.
to the body.
Because the mean girls are with him.
Well, okay, the Ashaman
Yeah.
are here.
Whatever you want to call him.
And he falls down screaming. Rand leans out of his saddle and throws up everywhere and loses Saidin.
Yeah, so Rand does nothing.
And thinks about how losing Saidin this way is super bad news. And he's like worried he burned himself out.
Yeah.
Because you like grasp it.
Yeah. So we know that
let
like
it go so fast.
embracing Saidin is different than Saidar, where it's like Saidin is a battle and you don't ever give up just like an inch with Saidin because Saidin's gonna burn you out.
Sure.
And Saidar is more like, oh, let it flow through you.
Yeah. Whatever.
Relaxed, whatever. But Saidin is like raging battle, fight it.
Got it.
So if you just like kind of don't do things properly,
you throw up and then you burn yourself out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But here he just threw up and did nothing.
He just threw up, but then like that's also not a good look.
Oh no, it's terrible. It's not good.
This looks bad. They're like, you got a weak stomach there, Dragon
It's
Reborn.
very bad. It's like the assassination attempt, and Rand the Dragon Reborn can do nothing to defend himself.
Uh-huh.
Rand's in a bad spot right now.
Well, that's happened before, though. Remember,
not this way.
Remember the archers on the roofs?
Yeah, he got tackled out of his saddle, though.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
By a maiden. That was
Yeah.
like less of him not being able to do anything quick enough, and he had the maidens to help him.
Yeah, but here he had the Ashaman to help him.
He had his Taviranness to help him first.
Also that. Yeah.
The pattern saved
You want to say that the maidens pushing him out of his saddle wasn't Taviran?
Nope, that's the maidens being badass warriors.
Okay, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Not gonna credit Rand's Taviranness with that.
Well, I don't credit Rand with doing much, honestly.
Well, he does a lot of good things.
He does some.
He does a lot of like tactics and battle plans and thinking and reading. Like,
yeah,
he's
but
a smart
in the
guy.
moment, like,
yeah,
not that great, Rand.
that's why he's a Taviran. The pattern's like, come on, dude, we got to get this stuff done.
Okay.
No, you can't die right now.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
I think that I brought up that point with the whole, like, we're just gonna use this portal stone.
Yeah.
And hope it works.
Yeah.
Taviran.
And and portal stones sort of work most of the time. Okay, but like sometimes not very.
Yeah, but
No.
Taviran.
Taviran.
Now, everybody goes over to this archer guy to see if he's still alive, but he's clearly not because he was fireballed.
He has a hole in his chest.
Right. And
He's
so we're
very
searching the
much
body,
dead.
and
Yeah.
Rand recognizes this charred body as the Ilian leader guy.
Yeah, the dude from the forest.
The bush.
The bush, right? Not the forest.
No.
Bush.
The forest is Kyrian.
The bush.
The bush was Ilian.
Yeah, exactly.
Egan Padros.
The guy who Rand looked at and was like, "Oh, that guy's smarter than he looks."
Yeah. Well, he's the one that he talked to
Yeah.
last time we were with
Yeah,
Rand.
it's like, this is the guy.
Yeah.
Tried to assassinate him.
Interesting. So now Gedwin is watching Rand,
Yeah.
and then Flynn and Narishma ride up. They're both holding Saidin, and Rand notes that they are stronger than the last time he saw them, and we get a bit of information on how that works for men, but we
Yeah.
already knew that.
We did, but this is like more confirmation that men jump up in powers,
Yeah.
and then women is like
A
smooth,
gradual
climb. Yeah.
Now, Gedwin makes a snarky comment about it being super good that they followed him here, and then asks Rand if he has a tender stomach this morning.
Yeah, not a good look for the Dragon Reborn.
And then they empty the coin pouch from the guy and see that there's 30 gold Tarvalin crowns, which makes this look like it was a hit job.
Yeah, like an assassination attempt paid for by Aes Sedai.
Yeah, and Bashir's like, there's lots of Tarvalin coins
Yeah.
to be found everywhere, so
And,
this
like,
doesn't make this possible.
If anyone ever wants to like
Or
assassinate
like a sure
someone,
thing.
don't use the money from where you're from.
Yeah,
Change
duh.
that shit out. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah, so now there's no time for any of this because one of the Ashaman have come back and it looks like the first Seanchan have been found. So Rand tells them all, let's forget about this situation, deal
Yep.
with this later,
Yep.
and it's time to move.
Yeah, leave the body. Let's go.
They're like, what do you want to do with it? He's like, leave him.
Yeah. Well, they want to do the whole like, oh, let's send it back to the White Tower, and
Yeah, but there's no saying that he actually came from the White Tower.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
So
And then Luce Theron asks Rand,
with the jokes.
are you ready to kill now?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Ashaman, because he's talking specifically about the Ashaman.
Okay.
That's what Rand thinks Luce Theron is always talking about.
Okay. Well, or just like in general.
No,
Okay.
It's always the Ashaman.
Okay.
It's always like, kill the ones who can channel because they're going to destroy the world. That's Lews Theren's thing. Lews Theren isn't like, kill everybody.
Big hypocrite. Guy who basically broke the world.
He already said I did it.
Yeah.
He's taking credit for that.
He did.
That was earlier he did do that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so he goes, are you ready to kill now? And in my mind, it's like, are you ready to kill those asshole Ashaman now? And Rand thinks, not yet, ... soon.
So that's what you're talking about.
Yes.
So you think Rand is going to kill Gedwyn and Rochade
Maybe.
soon?
Maybe.
Or just like in general,
all
of the Ashaman? Because like
Yeah.
that seems bad.
Yeah.
That sounds like a crazy Rand thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, Rand is crazy.
Yeah, but do you want that? Do you want Rand to like murder a bunch of Ashaman?
Oh, yes.
That seems bad.
Oh, yes.
That seems like unhinged
I'm
bad.
super uneasy about the entire organization. We need to restructure.
Sure,
We
by
need to let
murdering
some people
everyone.
go.
Let them go.
There's going to need to be some layoffs.
Best part is you don't have to pay out like,
Severance
or days off or nothing.
Nothing like that.
kill
Offer
'em.
sabbatical? Nope.
Done.
Nothing. Get out.
Okay. And this is why you're not allowed to run a company.
I know. People love when I get in this mood.
This is like evil Dani mood. Like, what are we
Well,
doing here?
specifically about the Black Tower. There's just such a cloud hanging over that until I really know what's happening there. Like, I need to know if I'm alone in this uneasiness about the Black Tower.
Clearly not. Rand is very much with you on this one.
Well, Rand is a fucking crazy paranoid asshole who, like, literally is...
So here's the thing. When your thoughts and opinions align with the person who's like a crazy paranoid asshole...
You know what? He's got to be right about something.
Does he, though?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
And I mean, there does need to be some ego checking.
Yeah.
Like, some of this isn't good. Like, the direction we've been heading, meeting new Ashaman from the Black Tower that Rand maybe hasn't really had a lot of contact with, hasn't been great.
And also Rand dressing up the way he's dressing and being like, let the Seanchan know who's here to destroy them. Like, we're on a bad track.
A lot of it's bad, but I'm cool with destroying the Seanchan. So,
right.
Let's roll.
Okay.
Let's roll into our next perspective. But first,
Let's
we're going to
do
take
this.
a quick break.
Okay.
All right, we're back in a pretty cool perspective.
It's different, and there's so much backstory, and I love it.
Okay, I'm going to skip over the backstory, and I'm going to get to the cool stuff.
Cool, then I'm going to talk about the backstory.
Okay.
But we got to speculate about the Seanchan as a people. I'm like,
No.
what?
No. We don't have time for that.
Excuse me?
We don't have time for speculating about the Seanchan as a culture.
There's always time. We get so little.
We get tons. We know. We know about the Seanchan as a culture.
You don't know anything.
I know enough. I
You
know
don't-
all I need
you
to
don't
know.
know anything.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, anyway, this guy's name is Acid Bukan, or something like
Bakun?
that. Bakun.
Bakun.
Cool. Seanchan guy.
Seanchan guy.
This guy is part of the ever victorious army.
Hmm?
And see, every time I say something like that, I say ever illustrious.
Or glorious.
Or glorious.
Yeah.
Or glorious. Ever victorious.
Victorious. They're always victorious. They always win.
Always win.
Yeah.
Now, they've set up camp here in this spot that they're in, and he thinks about how he's made hundreds of camps over his 30 years in the army.
Yep.
And while there has been an occasional rebellion here and there started by someone with eyes on the crystal throne,
Mm-hmm. Backstory.
the bulk of his years has been spent preparing for this, the return, and, things aren't going quite as he imagined them to go.
Yeah. So we get that they have prepared for the return for 2 generations.
Okay?
Like, that is a heck of a long time
Yeah.
for the Seanchan people to prep for this invasion.
Yeah.
Because we know
an
we've got...
invasion of a place they don't know about.
Well, not very much, but we know that there's the Forerunners. All the Seanchan who are here currently are the Forerunners. And then the actual army,
Yeah.
the return, is still on the way.
Still to come.
Which is like a huge effing flag.
I feel like Rand should hop over to Seanchan.
We should... Well, he's done that.
No, I mean...
And he did a little...
with an army.
He got his business done.
I know.
Okay.
I'm aware. That's why we need to go there to stop this. Because this seems like a lot, but it's nothing.
They're probably somewhere between Seanchan and Randland. They're on the ocean.
Get Egwene to fly around over the ocean.
That's not how Tel'aran'rhiod works with boats.
How do you know?
Because it's all about, like, the consistency of where things are, and boats are not a consistently placed thing in Tel'aran'rhiod. That's not how it works.
I don't know how any of this works, so go on.
Oh, man, okay. Anyways.
Okay, so things aren't going as he imagined they would.
No.
Which is interesting, because I think things are actually going pretty well for them here. I mean, like, not the initial landing.
Yeah.
They got pushed back, but now they've come again, and they're doing way better this second round.
He kind of mentions it in the second, like, half, like, comments here, where he's like, I didn't imagine that I'd be in charge of a bunch of criminals.
Oh,
bunch
not
of, like,
criminals, but descendants of thieves.
Sure. However you want to phrase that.
Is that what the show The Descendants is about?
I don't know what that show is.
Yeah, it's not.
Probably not. I doubt
at all.
that. Yeah.
But I just thought that was funny.
Anyways.
Okay, so
like, probably that.
He does have a patrol of 50 Terabonner soldiers. They're returning to the camp, and then he thinks about how, he never expected to be in command of descendants of thieves, and that's embarrassing.
Then they're not even ashamed of the fact that they're descendants of thieves.
No.
Because the whole Watchers over the Waves thing, too.
I think that your interpretation of that is a touch wrong, because the way I read it was, he is ashamed. Bakun is ashamed that he is in command of the thieves.
Yeah, well, he's not happy about that.
No, I don't think it has anything to do with the Terabonners being ashamed or not ashamed. I think you're wrong. In the reading of it, because I read your notes too. Can I point out,
he mentions how they look you in the eyes.
Yeah.
And we know that if you're Seanchan, you don't look people in the eyes.
Okay, but I don't think that has anything to do with... They're not even ashamed of being descendants of thieves. I think that Bakun is ashamed.
Okay, fair. All right.
We can read back if you want, but...
No, that's okay.
That's how I read it.
It's however you want to read it. That's cool.
Okay. So now he heads over to the Suldam tent, where there's 4 Suldam with their Damani pets.
Yep.
Like literal pets.
Yep, we know that. That's the relationship.
And he even thinks, I have a dog and I don't treat it this well.
Yeah.
And he asks, is she well? Is everything well with her?
Because it was not
and
good.
And the Suldam is like, oh yeah, yep.
All
no
good.
Issue, all good.
Don't worry about it. It's all good, man.
Not your problem.
Yep. Not
Get
your
out
business.
of here. Go away. And Bakun knows that something was wrong with the Damani, because back in Ebudar, since the day that Ebudar was secured, the Damani have not been used.
Yes.
Even to display the skylights for their victory.
Fireworks. Fancy fireworks.
Fancy fireworks.
And that is the day of Cloud Bowl.
Right.
And weirdness. And we know that there's been weirdness.
The blow up.
Yep. And the weapon. Right? A lot of stuff.
And there are whispers about the Damani being sick or insane. And now we know that Egwene unplucking the gateway.
You say Egwene?
Elaine.
Elaine.
I meant Elaine.
Okay.
Elaine, unplucking and unweaving the gateway was very dangerous, because anybody within a certain mile radius potentially could have been burned out or affected in some way.
That's true.
And whatever happened on her side, they were all okay.
Yep.
But who's to say...
Absolutely.
On the other side, maybe they weren't.
Yep.
Maybe it's worse on the side it was, like, originally weaved in.
Yeah. Well, we also had the scout for Rand, who was, like, scouting out Ebudar, who was like, oh, Saidin didn't do what I wanted it to do. It was weird. I'm not crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm not crazy. Don't think of me like that. So, like, there's definitely weirdness. Something with the Cloud Bowl around Ebudar is not great, but now maybe it's all cool
and
now.
Also... Gateway explosion.
Tons of stuff.
Tons of stuff going on.
We get numbers for this guy's camp.
Okay.
Because there's 50 in the patrol. He's got 10 times as many in the camp, so probably around 500.
Yep.
And then 3 patrols are still up, which is probably about 150. So he's probably got like 700 total.
Okay.
Which makes it important for later when they talk about how many.
When they talk about numbers, so let's get to how they learn about numbers.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
The conversation is cut short because a Raken appears and does a circle, and then this message drops down, and so we get this long, drawn-out explanation of how messages are sent from camp to camp.
If you attach a heavy thing, then it falls because gravity.
And there's a long red streamer so that you can see it.
It's a good scouting system because then you don't land the Raken.
And we get that the Raken flyers have pretty accurate aim because it goes right to where the message pole is.
Yeah,
whatever.
You fly, you throw it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And so now Bakun heads straight to his tent where one of his men is waiting with the message tube.
Yep.
And he opens it up, and it's a short message because it's probably not easy to write on the back of a flying lizard. We get so many thoughts about this guy thinking about what it would be like to fly a Raken.
I love it.
Hates it. He's really scared of heights.
Yeah, which is fair. I also wouldn't want to be this person, especially considering how they pick up messages.
Oh, yeah. I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I
personally, I wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah, not really.
Not for me.
Okay. So, as soon as he reads it, he starts writing his own messages. And the original message is that there's a force not even 10 miles east of here, and they have 5 to 6 times their numbers. Mm-hmm. And he wonders how such a large force could have got this far towards them without being spotted.
Yeah.
Because he has scouts too.
Yes, that's true. So it's not quite equivalent to what Rand's army is, but we also don't know if the scouting reports are accurate. But we know it's a large crew, and how could they possibly get this far into the mountains without them being noticed, which only really makes sense with gateways.
I'm going to be so annoyed.
Sure.
If this group of Seanchan has zero to do with Rand's group.
This is a 90 in the boat with
Except
Moghedien.
that ended up being true, and I was thrown off thinking this is probably something way different, and I went off on a crazy tangent for funsies.
Yeah.
This, I really need to be, concurrent with the story.
Well, it is very interesting because even his perspective, this guy's perspective of when they should meet up is going to be interesting considering how Rand is seeming to
travel
and handle the Seanchan.
Well, the only thing that makes any sense without a huge force showing up is that they traveled there.
Yeah.
This has to be Rand.
Yeah.
If it's not, I'm just going to be throwing my book in the fireplace.
Oh, no.
I haven't said that in a while.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's what's happening.
I will be so annoyed and so thrown off.
I get it.
And I probably won't even remember that I said this, but that will annoy me.
Okay.
Now, Bakun doesn't think there's any reason to assume that this other force knows they're even here.
That's a bad assumption.
That's a bad one. But it'll be good to have reinforcements just in case.
It's a good assumption.
And then one of the other Seanchan guys is okay, but they don't even matter because we have Damane.
Right.
We're better than everybody.
Except.
And then Bakun is well, they might have Aes Sedai with them.
Yes.
And we know this new Aes Sedai weapon.
Yeah, the Aes Sedai weapon is a thing that keeps coming up of they think it's a weapon.
Yeah.
Like a freaking
bomb,
missile.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was just a lane.
Yeah, it's just a lane. It's just a lane. It's just a lane fucking with a gateway.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, and even Elaine thought, cool, I have a new weapon. And everyone was like, no.
No, not a weapon.
Yeah.
That could be a nothing.
Yeah. So anyway, he finishes his letter. He takes it out to the message pole, takes it to the whatever place.
Because they have a pole that they attach, and then they raise the pole, and the Raken flies over the pole, and the rider does a friggin' circus act and grabs the message.
Grabs the message.
Terrible.
Scrambles back up to the Raken.
Hate it.
And then
I'm afraid of heights. I don't like it.
Looks out at the valley, considers how this army approached them unseen.
This is where we get so much Seanchan history.
And he knows the Damani will be useful. Even if the enemy comes straight on, they'll arrive before any reinforcements can by 3 days.
Yeah.
And so we get some Seanchan history, and Bakun starts sending his orders out to prepare for this encounter.
So just timeline-wise, if Rand is actually gonna he's here to kill Seanchan and that's it, realistically, he would just take his Ashaman and travel and destroy them right now, right here. But this guy thinks that they have 3 days before the army, like, meets them in battle.
Yeah.
But, like, are we meeting this group of people of, like, less... Because Rand has 6,000.
Okay, so here's the thing that I think, now that you're talking.
Yeah.
I think maybe this group over here might not really have anything to do. Like, if Rand and his scouts found a bigger, different group, then that's who they're going to go after. Because this guy with, like, 500...
Yeah.
probably wasn't the group that was going to take over Ilion.
No, but unless Rand is, like, just jumping around to just, like, murder Seanchan groups all over the place to put the fear into the Seanchan.
Cool. That'd be cool. I'd like that.
Because he could literally do that. They have 4 Damani. They have 4.
Yeah.
And Rand has, like, 50 to 60.
Oh, well, even just, like, one Asherman, really.
Seriously.
I mean, like, maybe. But, like,
yeah,
because they're just going in. They have the element of surprise.
They could clean house. Easy. So if they're just, like, going to jump around and, like, murder all these little, like, camps and crews of Seanchan and put the fear into the Seanchan so they stop advancing into the nation, like, that's a legitimate strategy here.
Yeah, and there is a point in the last perspective with Rand where he does think that all he really wants to do is stop the Seanchan from coming into Ilion at this point.
Yes. Like, he just wants to push him back.
Yeah.
Push him back to the west, be like, yo, stay there.
Deal with you later.
Yeah. That's a future Rand problem.
Yeah.
And future Rand can deal with you.
Because I just gotta blow a couple of you up, and then I gotta go back to deal with the sea folk in Kyrian.
Marana is doing a terrible job.
But now, at this point in this episode, we have not even one time talked about potential timeline, because this has been like a week for Rand.
At
and
least.
if we started chapter 21, where chapter 20 ended...
You tracking the rainstorms?
I'm not doing a good job of that. But what I'm trying to do is...
or whatever.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to decide and figure out how long it's going to be for Egwene to get to Tarvalin.
Sure.
And then also for Elaine to get to Caemlyn. Because also, side note, from last episode, I don't know if Egwene is actually going to hold out the full month. But that's I'm just saying that right now because
and that's fair
we didn't talk about that.
That's fair too.
Because she might move.
Yeah.
If there are other if she does find out that some of the other, the tower is weakened.
Yeah.
Because they are in Caemlyn or trying to defeat the Black Tower.
That's fair. No, I mean...
Anyway, so there's all of that happening.
Elaida did send, because we knew that a third of Aes Sedai were in the tower, a third were in the rebel camp, a third were, across the world.
Yeah.
So if Elaida is sending, a fairly large crew... And there's only, 1,000 Aes Sedai. There's not that many.
Yeah, I know. So Egwene might move sooner. So I'm just trying to track, where everyone is and what's going on.
Yeah.
And I just can't imagine this book being another book where everyone kind of... meets and does things at the same time, whatever. It doesn't feel like that.
No, it doesn't.
It feels like not much will
going to actually happen?
What's the conclusion of this book? Is there one? I don't know at this point.
Well, it's a very middle of the series book, so...
And I'm sorry, we did skip over the Seanchan history.
Yeah.
Is there anything you would like to tell us before we wrap up this episode?
Yes, but only for the sake of explaining or maybe, highlighting how big Seanchan really is. Because we don't really know much about it, but we do know the Randlands, pretty separated. The Aiel are big. There's a lot of Aiel.
Yeah.
And Shara, we don't know much about them, but with Seanchan, so we get a little couple hints. We know that Arthur Hawkwing was 1,000 years ago. He sent his son over to Seanchan.
Yeah.
Now, we get a couple hints that there was the last battle of the Consolidation about 200 years ago. So if they got sent there 1,000 years ago, and only 200 years ago that the Consolidation, which kind of sounds like that's the consolidation of, the nations of Seanchan coming together, then it took 800 years to kind of get the Seanchan to where they are today.
Okay.
Now, this guy's been in the army for 30 years.
So let's say whatever Arthur Hawkwing's son got there, but there was already...
There were people there. But we know that the Aes Sedai brought him the Adam. There was the one Aes Sedai who created the Adam, who brought it to the son of Arthur Hawkwing and said, hey, here's the thing. And then that was the first Aes Sedai. That was the first person to be collared.
Got it.
And then basically they take over Seanchan.
Yeah.
Takes about 800 years to like really finalize stuff.
Yeah.
And now it's been 200 years. And now this guy, for 2 generations, they've been preparing for the return.
Now, how many years would you say is one generation? If we're going to say like, oh, we have 2 generations. Like...
I mean, in human years,
yeah.
a generation is about 25 to 30 years.
Okay.
Because you usually have kids every 25 to 30 years.
Okay.
That's how it works.
Okay.
So probably 50 years would be... So they've been preparing for 50 years for like the return.
Okay.
So when we're looking at like these people, they've dealt with some rebellions. And this is the thing. The guy thinks about some rebellions they've dealt with. And they haven't been small. But he gives an example that one of them was 2 years of fighting. And there were 30,000 dead. And 50 times that taken as property. And we know that the Seanchan think of people are property.
If they can channel.
50 times 30,000 is 1.5 million.
Holy shit.
So in one rebellion, 30,000 dead and 1.5 million brought to the mainland as property. So
shit.
Looking at the span of how many people are in charge, how big this nation is, like the Forerunners are here now, and the return is on the way. It sounds like it's Bad News Bears.
Well, yeah.
Like the Seanchan are coming.
Good thing we got
they're coming in
half the
hot.
series still.
Yeah.
Sort of.
They're coming in hot. It's gonna be a thing.
We have so many other things to deal with.
Start blowing that horn real hard.
My goodness.
All right? Horn of Valir.
That's what she said.
That right?
Right? Okay. Well, thank you for enlightening us on Seanchan history facts.
Like you should be. We should all be concerned. We should be worried.
We're medium concerned.
We should be worried. It's not good.
It is what it is. Okay. Should we wrap up this episode?
Yeah, I think we're done.
This has gone on a while. We've had a fun time.
Yes. Couple announcements for next episodes coming up.
Next episode is exciting.
Yes.
For 2 reasons.
Okay.
The first is one chapter. Chapter 23.
Yep.
And the second is Tyler
Guest.
will be guesting next week, so that's super cool.
So this is the chapter plan for the rest of the book.
Oh yeah, tell us about that too.
So from now on, we're doing single chapters, except for chapter 25-26.
Okay.
And 30-31.
Okay, that's a good way to explain it.
Yeah.
But we will remind at the end of each episode, and I will be posting a recording or release schedule on our Discord, on our Patreon, on our Instagram, and on our Twitter.
Yeah.
So if you're not following us on Twitter or Instagram, make sure you do that there. We post lots of cool, fun things. I post stories about our lives and recording and things we're doing. Follow us there. And then also you'll get recording schedule information.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right.
Awesome. Now, before we wrap up here, I am going to say, before you start an army invasion siege plan without telling anybody about your plan, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Well, that's the end of another fun episode. Thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett, with Essen, Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jamie Young, Cody Fouts, Megan Smiley, Jonathan Reese, Margaret, and Charlie Haz. With music by Audionautics. If you are interested in supporting us and the podcast, and also getting some really cool exclusive merch and access to early episodes and bonus episodes, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and us, like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, how to get in touch with us, things like that, for all things The Wheel Weaves, you can go to thewheelweavespodcast.com. Please be sure to give us that 5-star review because it really does make a huge difference. And tell a friend about us because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening because this really is part of the pattern now.